There is not a righteous man on earth. There is no one who seeks after God, Romans 3. No, not even one. For all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. Every inclination of our heart is only evil all the time, apart from the grace of God. So when we play this game, when we walk in darkness, here's what it boils down to. It boils down to calling God a liar. To disagreeing with God. I'm not in sin equals God is a liar. And His Word is not in us. It's pretty clear. John is writing to some Christians who are notional, nominal at best, who are not truly walking in the light, who do not truly know Jesus. Is it possible that there are people among us, even today, in this room, who think they bear the name of Christ, who do not actually bear the name of Christ? It is not only possible, friends, it is probable. It is most likely true. What can we take from what John says in his Word? Walk in the light. Confess your sin. Walk in the light. Confess your sin. And don't forget what John is after. John is after fellowship and joy. Sin hinders fellowship. Sin hinders joy. Sin keeps you from God. Sin keeps us from one another. How is that relationship restored? With God, with one another. You must stop walking in darkness and saying you have no sin. And you must walk in the light and confess your sin. You must stop blaming. You must stop pointing fingers. You must stop lying about an intimacy with God that you do not have. And confess your sin. Is the only time you confess your sin when other people call you out? Does it always take somebody else to point out your sin? Perhaps you're not spending enough time. Perhaps you're not going deeply enough in your prayer life, in your meditation with God, in your communion with God, in your devotional life with God, whatever you want to call that. Perhaps you think that just being a Christian is just being busy and going to Christian stuff and saying Christian things and reading Christian books. You can go to all the Christian places, read all the Christian books, and download all the Christian sermons and not be a Christian. Is there time in your life? Is there time in your life to be contemplative? Is there time in your life to consider your standing before God? Is there time in your life to savor Jesus? Is there time in your life to think about His goodness? Is there time in your life for Him to point out and reveal and convict you in regards to guilt of your sin? Or do you choke all that out? I think the encouragement for us as a church, that we would have fellowship with one another, rooted in our fellowship with God, that we would have joy rooted in God, is we would commit now, commit today, commit this week, to be people of confession. I'm not hiding this. I'm not concealing this. I'm not pretending this doesn't exist. I'm not arguing about it anymore. There's something here. Confess. Friends, you will not have fellowship without that. You will not have joy without that. You will not have heaven without that. You will not have Jesus without that.
Bah.